Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful Lacey, Washington. It's been a couple rainy, cold days outside as winter continues to set in here in the Pacific Northwest, but today, winter means more basketball, and it means another edition of the Capital City Clash, the women's version. We had the men's version a couple weeks ago, and after an early charge by the Evergreen Gooey Ducks, it was the St. Martin Saints that took that men's side. The men's team's on the road over at Weber State. We'll talk about that throughout the night, keep you updated on the dueling St. Martin banjos that we'll have going on. But the show that we got right in front of us will show these two squads and what is shaping up to be a pretty good contest between these crosstown foes. St. Martin's comes in with a record of 3 wins and 6 losses. They just got their conference play underway, losing both of their games last week against Northwest Nazarene as well as Central Washington. They were on the road over in Nampa, Idaho, and Ellensburg, Washington, respectively. On the other side, this is an Evergreen State College Gooey Duck squad that has had some injuries. They don't have a giant roster, but they've really come through and had an effective season thus far. Their lone loss has been to conference foe Lewis Clark State, which is one of the top teams in the NAIA. They're ranked, and a good squad there, and their athletics program at Lewis Clark State in general over Lewiston, Idaho, is good across the board. They have won every other game beyond that, beating Lewis and Clark College, different than Lewis Clark State. Northwest Indian College, Walla Walla, that was a conference matchup for them. Division III, Pacific Lutheran University, as well as conference foe Northwest. We're just about ready to go for the national anthem, so stay with us. We'll be right back to get you the starting lineups in just a few moments. After the national anthem, we're just about ready to get underway here at Twin Star Credit Union Court here in Marcus Pavilion. Lacey, Washington, a part of the greater Lacey-Tumwater Olympia area. And it's all the way down the interstate, take the exit to head up the Olympic Peninsula, and then 2 exits after that, you will come off and arrive at Evergreen College here. It's about a 15-minute drive, maybe even less if you get traffic to be in your favor rather than against you. Could probably be up to 20, 25 minutes if you got to stand still on the interstate. The starting lineups for those visiting Evergreen State Gooey Ducks: Monica Bungay, Caitlin Yene, number 24, Jalen Sackrider, number 25, Sydney Vanis, and number 30, Thuvi Tran. Head coach of the Gooey Ducks is Jackie Robinson. St. Martin's on the other side. They are led out there by star transfer guard, number 1, Angel Galbraith. He's out of Vallejo, California. Kiana Rios, a freshman that has splashed onto the scene, including a 31-point outing up in Bellingham, Washington. She also earns the start. It's number 22. Marked down the wrong person on my thing, and I was quite alarmed by that as Leah Sopak is inactive today. It's number 22, Ryan Clear, who has been a force for a couple years for the Saints. Emily Nelson plays for the Saints. She's going to be the big down under. And Lauren Morris, another highly touted returner for the Saints, joins the starting five of St. Martin's. Christy Martin, in her 7th season, leads the Saints on the sideline. And right beside her, as always, her coaching staff, one of the bigger in the conference, and associate head coach Jared Stottlemyre, who Christy Martin phrases as one of the hardest working assistant coaches in all of Division II. He is her top man right beside her, and they put out a good squad here, and a good squad, you could say that because they're finally kind of healthy all the way through. They were dealing with sickness. They were dealing with injuries. They still have a handful of players that are out, as there are 4 players that are in their street clothes on the side at the far end of the bench, but they do have a lot of key players back, and the tip between Ryan Clear and Jalen Sackrider goes the way of the Gooey Ducks. We are underway here in Lacey, Washington, 5:14 p.m., a minute early here in the South Sound. First shot is put up, and a difficult shot goes in for Sydney Van Ness. Lake Forest Park, Washington native Angel Galbraith now leads up. The offense going the other way. They're going to need to get it over. It's a turnover, stolen, coming the other way. And so maybe a little strategy early on you're seeing from what the Gooey Ducks are going to present. They've seen St. Martin struggle to break presses in the past, and that's exactly what they're going to come out with and try and provide. As we're going to get a foul down under. Emily Nelson called for the foul. And that one's stolen by Angel Galbraith. 2-on-2 with Clear and Galbraith. Clear to the rack. Clear takes some contact. No call. Misses the layup. Coming the other way now are the gals in green. Takes some contact there. Still no call, but the pass off to Jalen Sackrider, and the Elma Washington native puts it in for a 4-0 lead for Evergreen early. Press is broken. Kiana Rios to the rack. She misses the layup. Rebound Sackrider. Ryan Clear nearly comes up with a steal. Now the ball gets to Tran. Tran guarded by Angel Galbraith. Galbraith gets another steal. Her second already, and she lays it up and in. And there are the first points of the game for the St. Martin Saints. They cut the deficit in half. Tran brings it up, that's Bungay, guarded by Rios. Now it's Tran with it, guarded by Galbraith. Kick out, it's Yene who throws an interception. Lauren Morris picks it off. Drop off for Angel Galbraith. Now Emily Nelson will field and flip back to her point guard. Ryan Clear in the corner, thought about it, held off. Now Sackrider tries to pin her in the corner. Rios with it, pull up. Goes off back iron, rebound to the Gooey Ducks. 4-2 our early score line here. Kicked out, this is Tran for 3, too long. Rebound Clear. Galbraith is pinned, but it ends up going right off somebody's foot, most likely her own, and to Lauren Morris, who will take it to the rack. Takes some contact, and it won't go in. We're seeing a lot of leeway given to defenders in this early going. A fair amount of bumping as players get to the hole, but only one foul called in the first 3 minutes. And we got a push called on Lauren Morris, I believe. Tried a little bit too hard to go through that screen, and it will be Lauren Morris's first foul. First sub of the game is Shanoa Louie in for Emily Nelson. And for the Gooey Ducks, it's Lily Stewart and Paris Wilson getting their first minutes. Oh, that play worked really well, but it ended up being dropped by Caitlin Yene. Man, she was wide open on the left side under the basket. Maybe just too open, and fumbled the ball out of bounds. Back out in the press of the Gooey Ducks. And a couple cross-court passes break the press. Galbraith now. She'll go to the rack. Hands off to Louie. Louie puts it up and off glass. That's a post move that we've seen from Louie a couple times this year. Able to drop that step and put it in with a perfect touch. Louie's biggest foe this year has not been her game. It's been the fact that she takes a beating almost every time she's out there on the court and has picked up some knocks because of that. 4-4. Gooey Ducks try and reset with single digits on the shot clock. 5 to shoot, and a difficult shot put up and in by Sydney Vaness. Again, cross-court passes beat the press there. Angel Galbraith, the kick out. Ryan Clear, now Rios. Rios nearly lost the ball. Lauren Morris nearly traveled, and Angel Galbraith lofts up a three, and it goes in. First lead of the game for the St. Martin Saints. They are up 7-6 with 5:45 to go in the first quarter. Angel Galbraith was on defense there, and that's an offensive foul. Ryan Clear draws it. It was Paris Wilson. Excuse me, it was Paris Wilson called for the charge there. And Ryan Clear fired up on the ground after the early deficit faced by the Saints. And now they'll be back out in their press break. A little bit of confusion there. Didn't know if a timeout was called. They wanted to take it on the side rather than on the basket. I don't know what was happening, but that press was broken pretty easily there. So we'll see if Jackie Robinson tries to shake up what his defense is doing. As Shanoa Louie tries to start pick and roll, Angel Galbraith goes the opposite way. Pass around, Rios. Rios splashes from downtown. Kiana Rios, a big part of her success in the past couple games has been that three-point ball. She has come out and emerged as one of the top scorers for the Saints. Lauren Morris nearly got a piece of that one. Too long off the backboard and then off the rim and out. Lauren Morris rebounds. She brings it up. She'll take it to the rack. Count it. And the foul. We got our first media timeout of this contest. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the quarter. The Saints lead 12-6. Welcome back. It is 12-6 here in the early going. The Gooey Ducks of Evergreen State got out to a 4-0 lead quick, but the Saints since then a 12-2 run, including 2 3-pointers, one by Angel Galbraith, one by Kiana Rios, and now a potential for a 3-point play if Lauren Morris can hit this free throw. She does. 3 straight 3-point plays, 2 of them shots, one of them an and one. And next thing you know, the Saints have a 7-point advantage. Galbraith, her 3rd steal of the contest, picks that one away from Tran. Now she's leading a fast break. Gets it to Kiana Rios, who finds Shanoa Louie under the basket. It's Morris double team, gets out of it. Flipped around. Rios for 3. I said it already, but Kiana Rios from downtown has been a very welcome sight for head coach Christy Martin, who's needed some distance shooting, and that was a beautiful pass, and another one under the basket. Rios to Louie, and Louie to Morris for a wide-open layup. It's 18-6 Saints. The selflessness that we've seen in the past couple offensive possessions have proved very fruitful for the Saints. That one is a nice floater put in by the Gooey Ducks to stop the run. It's Monique Bungay that put it off glass to make the lead just 8 for the Saints. Avery Oster on now, and she was the one that tried to set the screen there. It's a 2-3 zone defense from the Evergreen Gooey Ducks. Finding Louie running high-low, and it works to perfection as Avery Oster ends up with nearly a wide-open layup in front of the bucket. Good assist will go to Shanoa Louie. Errant pass nearly gets away from the Gooey Ducks. Then a pull-up shot taken. Short rebound. Oster, good box out. And coming over to commit the foul is Paris Wilson. That's her 2nd. She's picked up 2 fairly quickly. And both of them on her offensive side of the court as she was called for that charge earlier. Kiana Rios on the season leads these Saints in 3-pointers. That second three-pointer that she hit just a second ago was her 15th of the season. Right behind her is Angel Galbraith with 12 and Ryan Clear with 11. This one's Lauren Morris. She fires from long range. Can't get it to hit. Rebound Rios, and then flips it up, finds Galbraith. Galbraith floats it in and splashes it home. That was all Rios to get that rebound and flick it back. We'll see if she gets credit for the assist as well, as a missed layup is rebounded by the Gooey Ducks. 3-pointer on the way. That short rebound, Oster. Trying to push the fast break just a little bit too much is Angel Galbraith, that she left that one behind Kiana Rios. But it was Bungay that fumbled it out of bounds. And now Galbraith will get the inbounds from Rios. They're going to let Rios fire away, and that's her first miss from three-point land. Fairly easy rebound by Shanoa Louie, but it's thrown away. Stolen by Yane. Yane takes some contact, missed the layup. Another missed layup, and rebound Oster. Now the fast break coming the other way. It's been a little bit of a track meet in the last couple minutes. Under the bucket, then fired out Galbraith. Lots of time. She kicks to Rios. Rios down to Morris. Morris, wide open layup, and again, pass, wide open, and the Saints convert to go up 24-8 here with under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Stolen by Rios. Now she's one-on-one with Jasmani Akbar Montoya and is able to put it in against the Port Townsend native. And Kiana Rios, this has been one of the most efficient offensive quarters of the season for St. Martin's University. And they're looking to keep the defense just as solid, possibly hold the Gooey Ducks to single digits. Ooh, nearly a walk there. Ooh, it's called a foul rather than a walk. There was some feet dragging from Tran, but she ends up getting a call to go her way, most likely the cause of the feet dragging. As Kiana Rios will check out, the entire bench will stand up to greet her. Offensively, defensively, a strong first quarter from Kiana Rios, the freshman out of Warden, Washington. Checking in now as well is number 15, Sarah Lamette, the 6'4" freshman out of Oregon. First free throw is up and good from Tran. Tran's from Seattle, Washington, attended Franklin High School there, listed as a sophomore. Makes both free throws, so it will not be single-digit first for the Gooey Ducks, but 36 total points put up in this first quarter. An impressive offensive outing from both sides. Press broken fairly easily again. Morris gets it cross court, and back in the 2-3 zone are the Gooey Ducks. Man, Ryan Clear was wide open in the corner. And we're going to get 3 in the key called. Shanoa Louie was camping out down there right around the charge circle. And I think Jackie Robinson recognized that on the bench pretty quickly and started screeching for it. Rightfully so. I was starting to count myself, and seemed like it could have been more than just 3 in the key from Louie, who was really trying to get that pass and lost count of how long she was camping. Ooh. Couple sketchy dribbles there from Sydney Van Ness. Gets it back, guarded closely by Morris. Puts it up. Whew. Almost got it to fall off glass. The offensive rebound to reset the shot clock to 20, and now it's Van Ness with it again. Van Ness second on this team out of players that have played a good amount with 15.6 points per game. Van Ness with it. Flings that one up, misses everything, and now the scrum on the ground will be grabbed by Sarah Lamette. I think we got to double check what the, yeah, we are going to get a reset of the shot clock. They said Lamette never had possession, so hopefully that will translate into the stats as that she doesn't get a turnover there. 1 on the shot clock. Evergreen has to be very aware of it. That's not enough time. Oh, wow. Put it in from Caitlin Yene, but it was just a half second after the buzzer rang out. Oh, my goodness. I feel like I've seen way too many just kind of freak shots go in from opposing teams, and that was one there from Yene. As the Saints will now hold for one shot, 26-10. Can they end this quarter on a high note? They can. Shanoa Louie wide open under the basket. Angel Galbraith found her for an easy layup to finish a 28-point first quarter from the Saints. They lead by 18 as we head into the second. We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. Back here after the quarter break. 10 more minutes to go from Marcus Pavilion before we take a longer extended halftime break. Keely Jade Smith into the game for the first time. Passed around. Sarah Lamette up there. Again, Shanoa Louie in the key for a long time. Can't get that one to go with the left hand. We'll get a reset of her 3 in the keyness. Had to hit the rim. She got the offensive rebound and couldn't get that one to convert. This one's put up and missed. Rebound, Lamette. Lamette as well, as Keely Jade Smith puts in that tough bucket. Now 30-10 Saints ahead. Keely Jade Smith, as well as the rest of the Saints squad, got their introduction to one of the best rebounders in not just the GNAC, but in all of Division II when they took on Central Washington over this past weekend on Saturday. As that's going to be an and one there from the Saints. Angel Galbraith put that up, got some contact, got it to fall, and the offensive outburst continues from St. Martin's. Galbraith will now shoot her free throw, convert 33-10. Like I was saying, Samantha Bowman was business as usual for one of the best rebounders in Division II. If she doesn't get 15, that's almost kind of staggering. She's usually 15 plus, sometimes even up in the 20s in terms of her rebounding. And what makes her good is she has good height, but at the same time, she knows how to position herself really well, box out really well. And I think somebody like Sarah Lamette, who has that size, speaking of, she just commits a foul. You know, I assume Christy Martin will be flooding her with that film, trying to show her how can you use your size to a tremendous advantage that Samantha Bowman over at Central Washington has. The Wildcats in Ellensburg have developed her well, and clearly with their start to the season, they have took care of business in almost all of their games. Just one loss for the Wildcats at this point. (33-11) as 1 of 2 free throws were made by the Gooey Ducks. Three-pointer on the way, just can't fall for Keely Jade Smith. That one's flipped up, a difficult shot from Monique Bungay. Puts it in. So I've been trying to make sure that I've been able to pull up some of these stats for you. Our live stats page isn't working. This one is a tough rebound gathered back by Keely Jade Smith. It's flipped out, and Ryan Clear, good hustle for her to get to it. 8 on the shot clock, 7, now 5. Floater put up, and Angel Galbraith gets it to fall. Hand check's going to be called on Smith there. Taking a look at the scoring right now in the early going in this contest, it is Angel Galbraith with 12. Kiana Rios has 8, Lauren Morris 5. Oster and Louie both have 4, and Keely Jade Smith has herself a bucket. On the other side, it is Bungay and Vanessa that lead the Gooey Ducks with 4 each, and Angel Galbraith, another steal. Galbraith, the easy finish after her defense does most of the work. That's a number to look at now. Galbraith, 4 steals, make it 5 steals actually, 3 assists to go with her 14 points. Nice shot from Jalen Sackrider. Timeout called by the Gooey Ducks. A lot of ground to make up. They're down 37-15 here midway through the second quarter. We'll be right back after the brief timeout. Back here, 37-15 our scoreline, 6:50 to go in this second quarter. Lauren Morris with it, pass to Emily Nelson, who's sitting at the free throw line. Galbraith in, will put it back to Nelson. Now Rios thought about it hard and then cooked a pass too high. She had Lauren Morris wide open on the lower right block, but tried to go high. And I think Lauren Morris, who's clearly the veteran in the relationship between her and Kiana Rios, Lauren Morris said, just put that one on the ground. Give me a bounce pass there. Find a way to get it through. And that'll be much easier to handle than trying to throw it over the trees. Saints are in a 1-3-1 zone right now as a long three is splashed in from Monique Bungay. Makes it 37-18, a 19-point lead for the Saints, as Angel Galbraith will fight her way across the half-court line. Leads to a pretty good look on the basket from Clear, but there was a lot of contact first on Galbraith trying to get across half-court, then on Clear firing that up. Nothing gets called for the Saints, and they come up empty on that possession. Bungay with it, guarded by Angel Galbraith. This one thrown in, Clear. Can't defend Sackrider as she puts it up and over Ryan Clear. And the lead is now 17 for the Saints. And they throw an interception. Yene will run it the other way. She flips to Bungay. Bungay thought about a three-pointer, but she pulled out of it. Now it is a guard guarded by a post, as that one's nearly intercepted. It is intercepted by Lauren Morris, and had to put that one behind the back while falling into the bleachers to keep that one in. And it's a play that will be much appreciated from It'll be a play that'll be much appreciated from head coach Christy Martin for the hustle. And they're saying that Lauren Morris had possession of that and then threw it out, as that one's thrown down low and Sackrider puts it up and in. A little bit of run gone on now by the Saints, or by the Gooey Ducks, excuse me. Rios with it in the corner. They're trapping Rios. Rios smartly just throws it off a Gooey Duck and gets herself an inbound. 5:01 to go. And it's a timeout, St. Martin's, with 5:01 to go. A 15-point lead for the Saints. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. Back here, Ryan Clear will inbound to Angel Galbraith. I think a set play right now to try and beat this 2-3 zone, but I think the Gooey Ducks came out of the zone as they missed the shot. The Saints do. Rebound goes to the Gooey Ducks, fought away. Nearly a jump ball, enticed by Ryan Clear, and now Clear will play defense on the Gooey Ducks. They pass it around, miss the layup. And rebound Louie, and Jess flips it in. It looked like an NFL wide receiver there, toe tapping to keep her feet in bounds on the baseline. Galbraith was fouled right before she passed what would have been an assist to Avery Oster. Galbraith right now, you can put her on double-double watch. We'll see how many minutes she gets if the Saints are able to expand a lead back up. But she already has double-digit points, and she has 5 steals and 3 assists. Off-balance shot from Lauren Morris. Missed rebound goes to Yane. That was Shonoa Louie that poked that ball out from Yane, bringing it up the court. and then nearly took the head off her head coach, Christy Martin. But Christy Martin, who was a good player back in her day, has pretty quick reflexes to make sure that one does not do any damage. Yane with it, guarded by Clear. Angel Galbraith locking down Tran over there in the corner. Now off-balance shot from Yane. Just misses. Rebound Louis. Clear leads it up. Clear passes off to Morris. Morris puts it too long for Oster, but Ryan Clear has continued to be a good backup. And an offensive foul, I think, called for a moving screen. Shanoa Louis somewhere committed a foul onto the basket. On that screen. I didn't see it, but one of the refs did. And it will turn the ball back over to the Gooey Ducks. Now the Saints are out in a full court press of sorts, as they nearly got a trap in the corner. That one's deflected around. Sackrider now kicks out for three, splashes it in. Monique Bungay makes it a 37-25 game. Oster under the bucket. She flips it up. Can't get a call to go her way. There has really been no calls going the Saints' way in this contest. And it's one thing as it's intercepted by Shanoa Louis on the failed post pass. It's one thing when you're up 20 and you're not getting any calls. It's a lot of feeling when the momentum is not going your way and the calls aren't going your way. That one's bounced around, gets to Ryan Clear. Ryan Clear pulls up and stops the run. Much needed bucket for the Saints here to make it 39-25. Bringing it up all the way is Bungay. She'll back it up. Now she's guarded by a post, and Oster over the head pass. And the finish from Sackrider. What a pass and finish from Bungay to Jalen Sackrider. Wow, well done to come right back at it after the Ryan Clear shot and answer with a bucket of their own. Bungay up in the grill of Angel Galbraith, and Galbraith has not been able to draw a lot of the ticky-tack foul calls that you see her get sometimes, especially when she's getting that close half-court defense, but there is able to entice Bungay into the foul. In terms of foul trouble, that is Bungay's first, so not too much to worry about. Yane has 2, and Paris Wilson, who's been on the bench, obviously because of this, she has 3. On the Saints, nobody has 2 fouls on the Saints side, but there are 6 players with 1 foul. Ball is poked out of bounds, but poked out of bounds by the Gooey Ducks. This is Rios for 3. Misses. Rebound Morris getting herself dirty down under the basket. Now gets it back. Kick out. Rios missed it. And the rebound will fall the way of Bungay. Fast break results in a bucket by Lily Stewart. Lead is now at 10, 39-29. A second quarter well answered by the Gooey Ducks. Angel Galbraith with it, gets it to Rios. Screen by Avery Oster. Now back to Galbraith. Galbraith finds her way inside, and a difficult shot goes up and in. Galbraith, the leader in points per game for this St. Martin's squad. Does it again with a huge bucket. She averages 15 per game. And she is at that mark already. This one goes to Sackrider under the basket, who shoots it too long, gets her own rebound, but she committed a foul while doing so. 56.6 to go in this first half. It was a first quarter that was all Saints, 28-10 when the final buzzer rang, but Evergreen State has had the number of the Saints in this second, 19-13, but that's Angel Galbraith right back to the bucket to make it 43-29. Gooey Ducks setting up some offense. Oster guarding Lily Stewart closely. Stewart eventually gets it to Tran, guarded closely by Galbraith. Little shimmy and a shake and a step back. Almost perfect, as this is Galbraith going to have a chance for a wide open layup from Morris, but Morris is just going to end up being fouled by Bungay. That was an interesting decision from Galbraith, as I thought she was just going to go and take it all the way to the bucket herself, but she opted to push it ahead to Lauren Morris. Morris misses the first free throw. But it was really two Saints out ahead of the entire pack on that one. Morris makes the second. 44-29 our scoreline. 17.4 to go in this second quarter. Saving for the last shot. Bungay will hold it, guarded by Galbraith. Now gets it to Stewart. Stewart to Sackrider. Bungay guarded by Galbraith. Step back, and Galbraith committed a foul there. As Bungay and Galbraith, two good offensive point guards, but both of them play pretty ferocious defense that can get you into trouble if they're calling it close or if you're too far in the grill of the opposition. Right there. Foul with 0.8 seconds to go will result in at least one free throw against. 44-30. One free throw here would mean a 75-point first half combined for by these two squads. And it will mean exactly that. The heave from Ryan Clear, not enough. That will do it for this first half of play from Marcus Pavilion. First quarter dominated by the Saints, but the punchback came in the second from the Evergreen State College Gooey Ducks. It's a 13-point lead from SMU as we head to halftime. We'll be right back in a little over 10 minutes to tell you about the stats of the first half and set you up for the final half of competition here at Marcus Pavilion until after Christmas. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you right back in a few minutes. Welcome back here. We are just about ready to get underway for the second half. Let's go over some of the stats from this early going. In double figures for the Gooey Ducks, it's Monique Bungay. She's got 12 points, as well as Jalen Sackrider with 10. On the other side, it's the Angel Galbraith show. 18 points, 5 steals, 3 assists, and a rebound. A plus-minus of 13. Not too shabby from Angel Galbraith, who played the entire 20 minutes of that first half. Right behind her in terms of score, well, not right behind her, but in distance second is Kiana Rios with 8. Lauren Morris has 6. The rebounding front, it's Shanoa Louie with 5, leading the way for both sides. Saints in that first half shot 53% from the field, including 67% in the first quarter, 12 for 18 on the other side. Not much below are the Gooey Ducks. They've shot 44.4% in the first half. Biggest lead for the Saints. It got all the way up to 24 points early in the second quarter, but a run was gone on by the Gooey Ducks. They had a 5-point advantage scoring-wise in that second quarter, and they cut the lead to 13 as the ball is inbounded. We're underway with a turnover, as not on the same page was Tran and Bungay. Mentioned it already in the first half as we got underway, but this has been tagged by men's basketball head coach Aaron Landon as the Capital City Clash between these two squads that, thus, by being right across the area from each other, compete for some recruits and some attention, as this one's off front iron and goes the way of the Gooey Ducks. However, different levels that these two teams play on. The Gooey Ducks are out of the NAI, playing in the Cascade Collegiate Conference, while the Saints, of course, in D2 as part of the GNAC, the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. This game is an official game for the Saints, an exhibition for the Gooey Ducks. Bungay with it, pulls up. Doesn't get it to fall. Rebound will go the way of Tran, who gets it to Bungay. Now to Yane. In the middle, Sackrider has it stolen away from by Rios. Angel Galbraith to clear, takes some contact and can't get it to go, and it's out off of the Saints. Ryan Clear stays down a little bit longer than Christy Martin would hope, as that is, there's been 5 to 10 times where Ryan Clear has taken contact under the bucket and not had a foul called. I don't think she shot a free throw. She did not in that first half, but she's been battling and been pushed around a fair amount, but all of it legal contacts at our referees. Kiana Rios getting on the floor to get to this one. It's going to be a jump ball and go the way of the Saints. A savvy play from the Saints newcomer. Kiana Rios earns her team an extra possession, and I believe will get a credit for that steal. I believe that's how the stats go down. Saints with 7 steals in that first half compared to just 3 from the Gooey Ducks. 7 turnovers for SMU. Evergreen had 12. Emily Nelson with it. Played limited minutes after getting the start in the first half. And we're going to get a hold under the basket. Called on Tran, who was trying to stay in an optimal position with Kiana Rios, who was posting her up. Emily Nelson gets the inbound back to Galbraith. Rios for 3. Yes! That was a drawn-up play that worked perfectly. Inbounds to Nelson. Nelson handed off to Galbraith, and Galbraith found Rios, who was coming out to shoot a wide-open 3, but right back at it. That is Jalen Sackrider, who makes his splash to answer. And the Saints lead is cut back to 13. Missed three-pointer from Ryan Clear. Rebound Galbraith, and Galbraith's going to get an assist passing under the basket into Lauren Morris, who finishes at the bucket. Sackrider with it, guarded by Nelson. Sackrider will now drive. Shoot a really awkward shot there, but it's recovered under the basket by Tran and then goes out eventually off Rios, who has a healthy height advantage on Tran. Shanoa Louis is going to come in now. She's going to come in for Emily Nelson, and that's the reason why you saw limited limited minutes from Emily Nelson in that first half. Is because Sackrider is a forward that can definitely spread you out a little bit, and right after she hit that three, that was enough for Christy Martin to say, you know, let's get Shanoa Louis, who can guard out on the perimeter more, while Emily Nelson is the big that'll keep you well intact under the basket, but not necessarily going to be your perimeter defender. Kiana Rios battling, and eventually gets fouled under the bucket. Should be 2 shots for the freshman. St. Martin's men's basketball team is underway over in Utah. They play at Division I Weber State, a game that the Saints are looking forward to, and I'm sure a lot of the fans in this building are going to be keying into that simultaneously as they watch the second half of this crosstown battle. Shanoa Louis and Lauren Morris combine to get that offensive rebound. Lauren Morris eventually gets her shot blocked out of bounds by Yane. I don't know what that inbounds play was. Didn't necessarily work, but Shanoa Louis does get it under the bucket. Nearly gets it to go, but it misses. Rebound goes to Sackrider. Oh, that's an offensive foul. Sydney Van Ness stiff arms Kiana Rios to the ground. Rios gets up a little hobbled, holding her back, but Kiana Rios continues to impress with both her offense, her shot, as well as what she's able to do on the defensive side of the board. And the Saints beat the press coming up. Angel Galbraith, another beautiful look. Missed shot by Ryan Clear. Rebound goes to Shanoa Louis, but she threw it away trying to save it. 50-34 is our scoreline here. 6:24 to go. Again, I mentioned St. Martin's Weber State men's team squaring up, and it's 14-5 right now in the early going in favor of Weber State there. Of course, St. Martin's, despite their top 20 ranking, they are heavy underdogs on the road. Something to keep in mind. I know both Christy Martin and Aaron Landon believe that support and success on the other side, whether it be men's or women's, can lend itself well to success of your own program and good energy surrounding the school. And I know that that's not just a feeling in terms of men's and women's basketball. It's a feeling of all sports. Avery Oster was fouled there. I think the Evergreen side of the court wanted a travel rather than a foul. Looks to me like there was some contact with her wrist that knocked her off balance, though. We're going to get the inbounds to Oster. Then Oster looking for some space. Nearly lost it. Got it back. Rios for three. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Yane and gets it, and now it's just chaos as the ball eventually gets down to Sackrider. And now Yane will miss the shot. I don't know if Galbraith got a piece, but she definitely forced the miss. Now out to Rios. Rios to the bucket, takes some contact, and that will be 2 free throws for Kiana Rios. Monique Bungay called for the foul. Attended Cleveland STEM High School. Did Bungay. Definitely a very regional squad on both of these sides. As Rios makes the first. Bungay out of Seattle, Washington, like I just mentioned. only 3 out-of-state players for head coach Jackie Robinson. And the Gooey Ducks, as Rios makes both of her free throws. Skipworth, who's inactive tonight, is out of Lebanon, Oregon. Shanice Garrett, who's a good player for the Gooey Ducks, is out of California, and Rachel Watson is out of Syracuse, Utah. On the other side, Saints spread out the map a little bit more, highlighted by the 2 Hawaii players on the squad, Keely Jade Smith and Lily Koki. You also got a couple representatives from California, as well as Oster from Colorado and Sarah Lamette from Oregon. Believe that's all the non-Washington players. Oh, and then, of course, the international representation of Laia Correas, as we got a foul there called on Kiana Rios, her first foul. 52-34 our scoreline here, 5:16 to go in the third quarter. Good defense by Rios there. Ball goes out to Yene, guarded by Morris. Sackrider guarded by her fellow number 24, Shanoa Louie. Shot goes up with 1 on the shot clock, rebounded by Louie, and she pushes the fast break. Good outlet to find Galbraith. Galbraith cross court. Rios from downtown. Another 3 for Rios, another assist by Galbraith, and another steal from Galbraith. Looking at the bucket, flipping it up and getting the foul. The motor does not turn off for Angel Galbraith, as we're going to take a second for me to take about a minute off. It's immediate timeout. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. Back here, we're about to get 2 free throws from Angel Galbraith with 4:38 left to go in the third quarter. 55-34 is our scoreline. St. Martin's has outscored. That one goes off back iron and out. St. Martin's has outscored the Gooey Ducks 55-34, or excuse me, 11-3 in this third quarter. Specifically, 55-34 over the game. Of course, make it 56-34 and 12-3. In this fourth quarter, the stat line for Angel Galbraith continues to blow up. 19 points, 6 assists, 6 steals. She continues to be on double-double, if not triple-double watch for the Saints here tonight, and she has played every single minute for the Saints. Tough call for Shanoa Louie to get down there under the basket. Put her body in the way of Tran after Tran got the screen. Gets called for the blocking foul. Inbounds goes to Montoya under the basket before Yene will pull it out. Yene, a Lacey, Washington native, went to River Ridge High School. This is Sackrider She'll have to fire it up, and Sackrider, a high degree of difficulty on that shot as she puts it in off balance. Some clutchness there to keep the Geoducks in it, and a foul is called on Sackrider. Something to note is that Monique Bungay, that last foul that she committed on Angel Galbraith, that was her fourth. So Bungay currently sitting on the bench with 4. She's one of the key players for Evergreen State College. The leading point scorer available tonight with an average of 17 points per game. She's been outdueled by Angel Galbraith in this affair thus far, but she does have 12 points to her name. And that's one of the reasons why Jackie Robinson is missing her so badly right now, not being able to play her, as the Saints are out into a full court press, but they're going to get beat on it. And Montoya now guarded by Galbraith, and it ends with a missed shot in the end, as Sackrider was off balance. Avery Oster down under, and it's going to be a foul committed on Lauren Morris as Sackrider gave her the hip check. And all of a sudden, the top scorer for the Geoducks tonight, Jalen Sackrider, is in foul trouble herself with 3 fouls. 2 shots for Lauren Morris. Makes the first. 59-36 our score line. 3:20 to go in this third quarter. Saints have led since the 8:57 mark or so. That was when Evergreen State took a 4-0 lead. Saints eventually got up 7-6 and have led all the way from there. There's a blocking foul called on Emily Nelson, who I believe she was camped in the restricted area down there. So I think that's why the call went against her there, because she looked like her feet were set and she was in proper positioning there. Second foul on Nelson. 2 shots for Caitlin Yene. Senior, mentioned out of Lacey, Washington, which is technically where St. Martin's is, but I believe St. Martin's identifies strongly with all 3 communities in the area, including Tumwater and Olympia. That's a 3-pointer shot up and in from Paris Wilson to make it a 60-39 game. Galbraith kicks out. Rios makes it rain once again. The 7th assist of the game for Angel Galbraith. And now you can really start to count those assist numbers for the St. Martin Saints point guard. Missed shot, rebound missed as well. Montoya couldn't get the putback to fall. Galbraith will head it up. Going to kick it out to Rios again. Off front iron. Rios almost got herself another bucket to help out the double-double chase that Angel Galbraith is on. Yane from the corner. That's short. Rebound goes to Kiana Rios. Rios will take it down, dribbling with her left hand and hold up. And that was a smart play by Rios, who felt herself tripping. And that's a nice dish. Oster missed it and then got her own rebound and got fouled. So not a perfect play for the highlight reel, but should be productive nonetheless for the Saints, as Oster will get 2 shots. Ryan Clear comes in for Lauren Morris. In terms of the active players available for the Saints today, we've seen all but 2 for them, but you can think with the lead currently at 25 that we'll likely see some minutes from both Laia Curius as well as Lily Koki. Avery Oster goes 2 of 2 from the line. Angel Galbraith sitting at 21 points right now. She's got 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals. Even if that was her final stat line for the day, that would be a heck of a stat line to escape today's contest with. Three-pointer on the way, splashed in. That's Raven Edwards. That puts it in. Coming off the bench, I don't think she's played at all today. And her first touch of the ball is a nice three-pointer. Thrown down to the post. Emily Nelson, make it look easy. Assist will go to Ryan Clear, who gave her the nice pass down low. Rios nearly tripped up on the screen. Now Montoya guarded by Galbraith. It is a 2-3 zone, however, and it ends up with a steal. Now up ahead to Galbraith. She's all alone. And she'll put it in. 23 now for Angel Galbraith. Montoya. Now with it, back out. Edwards with it. Edwards around. Paris Wilson has the ball. She's on 4 fouls. And that one, Paris Wilson, clearly much smaller than Emily Nelson, and Nelson just stood her ground, and Wilson hit her, fell down, and I think that's basketball. Being tall, being bigger than your opponent, being stronger than your opponent, it helps a lot. That situation, I think the optics of it went against Emily Nelson, who was in perfect position from my vantage point. Also being up 27 is not going to help your call in the end. That was Emily Nelson's third foul, but a good shift as Emily Nelson usually puts in. And one more free throw for Paris Wilson. That one's off the mark. And a very quick call the other way as Shanoa Louie gets some contact while she was boxing out. She's going to get herself 2 free throws. Christy Martin is, as the first free throws in. Christy Martin's having a cordial conversation with our referee over there right in front of the scorer's table, and almost guaranteeing it has something to do with that call down on the other side that went against Emily Nelson. Not going to go crazy at that call up by 27, but you will definitely let yourself know if you're a coach. That one's missed by Wilson. Coming down, 35 seconds left to go in the corner. Rios gets it. Rios for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound goes to the Gooey Ducks. Good play by Ryan Clear. She took it away and passed it to Avery Oster. What a play from Ryan Clear, who looked like she had sticky fingers on that one. Flipped up, missed shot. 10 seconds to go as the Gooey Ducks did not save for the last shot. Kicked out to Rios. Rios for 3. Got it for 3. That will end the quarter. But another Kiana Rios tray ball. Another Angel Galbraith assist. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't stay to see how much the St. Martin Saints win by, stay to see if Angel Galbraith can get the first double-double of the season. She's sitting on 23 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 6 steals. You got to stay with us for the fourth. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. Back here, it is 10 minutes to go, and the Saints lead the Gooey Ducks by a score of 76-42 here at Marcus Pavilion. Three-pointer on the way from Bungay to start, and the rebound goes to Rios after the missed shot. Now Galbraith coming down the floor. Galbraith, I don't know if she knows how close she is to a double-double, if not a triple-double, but she took the bucket herself there. She's a smart enough, savvy enough player where that's probably not going to change how she plays, but man, am I rooting for it up here. Ball's passed around out of the free throw line, the elbow, but Yane with it misses. The rebound goes to Paris Wilson, who puts it off glass to make the score 76-44. Back out into a full court press are the Gooey Ducks. Breaking it easily are the Saints. Kicked out to clear, and the Saints will hold up. Galbraith with it. They're trying to double right now, the Gooey Ducks are. Oster with it under. It's kind of a soft 3-2 as that one is put up and missed. Ooh, that could have ended very badly as Shanoa Louie was fighting for that ball and got her arm tangled up in the wrong way. And very a different sport, but I have a teammate who snapped his arm, something similar to that, in a football game that I was playing in. And every time you see somebody go down awkwardly like that, you do not want the arm to fall in the wrong way. Shanoa Louie, luckily, is okay. She did have the foul called on herself, and then Bungay hits the three, and it's a 19-point lead now for the Saints. Just getting it across half court in time. Cross-court pass to Rios. Rios will pump fake, drive, float it up. Can't put it off glass, but it goes off of the Gooey Ducks and out. Inbound goes up to Rios, but the whistle is, I'm sure, what caused that air ball, and the whistle was for an offensive foul. Threw Rios off. Let's play it as that, at least. 8:05 to go in this fourth quarter. Gooey Ducks need a monumental comeback to bring it to a game that they're in charge of, but they do have playmakers. There's a three put up and splashed in. That's Sydney Vaness. And it's a 16-point lead for the Evergreen Gooey Ducks. Handoff to Rios there, and the foul is called on Sackrider. Looking at the foul situation, that's 4 on Jalen Sackrider. Timeout called by the Evergreen State College Gooey Ducks. 16-point edge for the Saints, but the Gooey Ducks are not going away easy. We'll be right back for the fourth, for more of the fourth in just a few moments. Back here, I think I said it was a 16-point lead for the Saints. I was not a math major, and also clearly just too excited tonight. It is 26. That's what 76 minus 50 is, thanks to our stream producer Sydney Henderson for pointing that out for me. As somehow she's, as we get a little bit of a extra tension there. Angel Galbraith's not going to take it. I believe the foul was called on Yane, and the two, Yane and Angel Galbraith, stayed locked up for a moment as our athletic director, our director of athletics, Steve O'Brien, who is called into duty to be the replay guy, might be put into action for the first time tonight. But right now, it doesn't seem like they're going to the monitor. They're just going to talk about it. Okay, so what just happened there is that we have I believe a personal foul on Caitlin Yane, and then technical fouls to both Caitlin Yane as well as Angel Galbraith. I believe that's what that goes down as. But let me see what our man Ibrahim put down in the official stats. Yes, that's exactly what he put down. So personal foul on Caitlin Yane, then a technical foul on Yane, and then a technical foul on Angel Galbraith. So dueling technicals there on the two sides. That is what it's going to go down as. Yeah, something along those lines. We'll see if Galbraith stays in for the Saints. Right now, Ryan Clear just talking with her, trying to calm her down, but Galbraith's not going to take that. As there was a long discussion as well between head coach Christy Martin as well as the Evergreen head coach Jackie Robinson. Caitlin Yane has fouled out of the game because that goes down as 2 fouls on her. And she was at 3 to start that. And we're back underway after the little bit of the rivalry scuffle that is almost required in a crosstown matchup, whether it be college, high school, whatever. A lot of fans on hand for both sides. And you see it boil over a little bit there. Sack Rider on 4 fouls with the ball and cooks that one into their fan section. It's a turnover by the Gooey Ducks, their 22nd of the evening. Saints break the press, get it to Galbraith up top with 23 on the shot clock. Now Galbraith will flip to Clear, back to Galbraith. Galbraith on 8 assists. He has over 20 points. Could this be 9? It will not, as too much hustle right there. Both Ryan Clear and Avery Oster going for that one. Somebody, if they would have held back and waited for it to get tapped to them, they could have had more success. Instead, they both jumped out of bounds, and Clear ends up doinking it off the head of her teammate, Oster. Bungay with it. Fires from deep. Off the backboard. Rebound goes to Clear. Clear and Oster running a 2-on-1. Flip to Oster. Perfectly run from Ryan Clear. Paris Wilson, now the point guard, bringing it up. Wilson out of Sunnyside, Washington. Ooh, that's a charge drawn by Kiana Rios. I felt that one because Paris Wilson did not hold back on that one, and that will be foul number 5 on Paris Wilson. She'll be replaced by Jasmani Apker Montoya. We got a timeout on the floor. We'll be right back. A 30-point lead for the Saints with 6:02 to go. That was a review that was taking place during this timeout where they were double checking to make sure that Keanu Rios' feet were not in the charge circle at that point. And they confirmed that. So the foul is on Paris Wilson, an offensive foul, her 5th. Last minute throw in, but works out where Evergreen forces the turnover. Keely Jade Smith then runs over the gooey duck that tries to set a screen on her. That's Montoya that drew the foul. Smith will get called for it, her 2nd. 5:53 to go. Angel Galbraith still out there with a 30-point lead. Galbraith chasing a double-double. She's tied for the most points for either side with 23, as Keanu Rios also at 23. Sackrider misses that shot. The rebound put up and in. Count it, and the foul for Jasmine Apker Montoya. Lauren Morris called for the foul, her 2nd. In terms of foul watch, 2 Evergreen State players have already fouled out, and Bungay and Sackrider, their 2 leading scorers right now with 15 each, are both sitting on 4. Free throw is missed by Montoya, so no 3-point play. Rebound Oster pushing it up to Ryan Clear. Kick out to Smith. Smith misses the shot. Rebound goes to Angel Galbraith. She gets it under to Oster. Oster can't get that shot to fall. Maybe an opportunity for what could have been called an assist for Angel Galbraith. Bungay thinks about it. She's guarded by Galbraith. Montoya sets a screen, so Clear will switch on to Bungay, and Bungay will flip it, stolen by Smith. Ryan Clear with it. Clear out to the corner. Rios from downtown. Keanu Rios from deep yet again. Rios has 26 on the night. This one flipped up and a missed shot, but it should be another foul on Keely Jade Smith, I believe, and that's her 3rd, as we're seeing this game slow down quite a bit. And the last couple minutes, 2 shots for Sydney Vaness. Place got really quiet. This is the last home game for St. Martin's anything before Christmas, but not the last home game of 2022, as the men's basketball team will be back in action here on December 29th when they host GNAC foe Simon Fraser, and the women's basketball team that you see right in front of you will be taking on Western Oregon on New Year's Eve. That'll be followed by a men's game versus Western Washington. Both of those games The SMU Western Oregon game and the SMU Western Washington men's game should be very, very interesting contests. Angel Galbraith to the bucket. She's got 25 after flipping that one in off glass. Sackrider flips to Vaness. 3 in the key called on Montoya, who was camping down in the paint there. .4:12 to go. Press will still be run by Evergreen. It gave St. Martin's headaches for maybe their first 2 possessions before they figured out how to break it, and they've been able to dominate it since. Galbraith to the bucket, counted and one. Angel Galbraith. I mean, like I said, her motor does not turn off, and that is incredible considering the fact that she does not leave the floor. 87-53 is the scoreline, as Galbraith now the leading scorer for the Saints, with 28 after that free throw, converting the and one. The Saints chasing 100 for maybe the first time this season, if they're able to do so. This has been a team that has struggled pretty mightily offensively. So to get it up to 88 today, that says a lot about what they're doing on the offensive side of the floor. And that's an and one for Bungay, as it's called a block on Kiana Rios, who tried to take another charge. In the 3 wins that the Saints had, they scored 63, 62, and 79. And that 79-69 win they had over Dominican was Kiana Rios' first real coming out party. A 31-point fiesta for her up in Bellingham, Washington. But this is a Saints squad that averages 57.1 points per game, and they are over 30 points beyond that right now against an Evergreen squad that has been solid in their NAIA season. Nice post move from Sarah Lamette, who flips that one off glass with the left hand. Timeout called by Evergreen. Kind of a weird reaction from Jackie Robinson when he called that. I don't know if it was kind of an accidental timeout or what. 90-56 is our scoreline. The Saints are cruising. Come back for the final 3:17. Back here, we have 3:17 to go. We are in the 4th quarter of this crosstown affair between the Saints and the Gooey Ducks. A steal coming this way before Galbraith is fouled. Galbraith, man, sometimes it seems like she gets what I would call the Christian Pulisic treatment, which if you watch the U.S. men's national soccer team at all, you'll know that that treatment can refer to basically when somebody knows that you're a key player, that everything goes through you, and you just get treated more physically than anybody else on the team. As Galbraith gets to shoot a lot of free throws because of that. Galbraith has shot 61 free throws coming into this game. The next closest is 14. She shot 61. The next closest is 14. That is an incredible number that she has beat on everybody else. It shows how skilled she is at getting fouled, but also just the aggressiveness in which she is guarded, because she is the playmaker for the Saints in this early going of the season. Her free throw percentage, 72%, not bad either, considering she goes to the line so much. You don't want the player that shoots their free throws like Shaq being the one that shoots 50 more free throws than the next closest player on your team. Thrown away by Evergreen, 92-56, as Galbraith will finish out. Looks like Christy Martin has the full 40 in plan. We do see the first minutes from Lily Koki, who is stepping out on the floor. Kiana Rios drives, loses it, then gets back on the floor to get it back. That one's bounced around, and it will go off of the Saints and Gooey Duck basketball. 2:35 to go here. Shanoa Louie will check in. She'll replace Kiana Rios. Kiana Rios most likely stepping on the floor for her last time tonight. A 26-point outing to go along with 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals from the freshman. What a past couple weeks it's been for her, adjusting to GNAC play and thriving in it. Missed shot, maybe a block there from Smith. Rebound goes to Louie. Lily Koki fires for 3. Koki can't get it to fall. The defense wanted to explode for that one. Good hustle from Louie to get the rebound. Now Koki will float, but she'll be called for the offensive foul. A little bit too aggressive, chasing some points there, is the Maryknoll High School graduate, mentioned out of Hawaii. I don't want to try and pronounce her hometown, so I'm just going to say that. She went to Maryknoll High School. I could try, but I'm not going to. Speaking of Hawaii, the Saints men's basketball team, in a little less than a week on the 14th, Thursday, they'll be heading off to Hawaii to play 3 games down there against Emmanuel College, Chaminade, as well as Texas Permian Basin. Should be a good challenge for the St. Martin's men's program. The St. Martin's women's program, they're off until those New Year's Eve games that I mentioned, where they will play GNACVO Western Oregon in the post-game press conference, or interview, rather than press conference. That'll be something I'll ask Chrissy Martin about, how she's going to deal with that 21-day break without any competitive games. Definitely a difficult thing to deal with, but I'm sure for a team that's been riddled with injury and illness, something that will be much appreciated by both Christy Martin and her players. Galbraith gets to Lamette. Lamette puts it in. Double-double watch back on. 1 assist needed from Angel Galbraith. And she'll likely get 2 possessions at least to do it. I thought she was at, oh, she is at 9 assists. There it goes. Just got punched in. There's going to be a foul called on Lily Stewart for pushing Sarah Lamette in the back. First free throw goes in from Sarah Lamette. Lamette's stat line right now, 5 points for her, 2 rebounds. They make it 6 points. 1:12 to go as the ball is inbounded into Tran. Tran will take it down. Galbraith will stay out there for the final minute. It seems to play all 40. And again, 1 assist from Galbraith. Give her the double-double, the first of the year by any St. Martin Saints women's basketball player. Nice shot turned up and in by the Gooey Ducks on that possession. Also, the Saints probably aware of how close they are to triple digits. Not even Division I Portland was able to put up triple digits on this gritty Evergreen squad. Evergreen, on average, allows 54.3 points per game. Just a staggering number to put up against the 96 that St. Martin's has against them. Shanoa Louie will make it 97. Missed shot, Lily Koki, an aggressive rebound there. And then I believe that was Lily Stewart that grabbed her shoulder and slung her down like it was a football tackle. And smartly, Lily Stewart just walks directly away from it. Probably just as much because she didn't want to show that it was more than just kind of an accidental foul, and also the fact that she maybe knew she was on 5 and was going to the bench anyway. Lily Koki splashes in the first free throw. 98 points for the St. Martin Saints, and Koki is on the board. 2 free throws for the Hawaii native. And Angel Galbraith will step off the floor with 44 seconds remaining. Our PA announcer down there, Joe, had to mention her stat line. 30 points, 9 assists as the ball is stolen by the Saints. 99 for SMU as Sarah Lammett will slow it up. They'll wait for the Evergreen player Montoya to come down with it. The Saints, in theory, should have to shoot one more shot because the difference between game and shot clock is 2 seconds. Koki with it. Koki to Sarah Lammett from the elbow, and that's 100 for the Saints. 101-60, a 41-point lead for SMU. Montoya puts up a shot. A foul will be called, and with 1.8, we'll close this game out with 2 free throws from Jasmani Epker Montoya. First free throw is missed. That means, in theory, unless we get a miss and a putback, it'll be at least a 40-point win for the Saints. And it will be a rebound, but no successful putback for the Gooey Ducks. St. Martin's University runs away with this one, dominating first quarter, dominating third quarter, and a fourth quarter in which we saw tempers flare, tension get high, but the Saints never let this one out of their grasp for a moment. We remind you to stay with us. We're going to have a post-game interview with head coach Christy Martin, as well as whichever player she decided had the best stat line, or at least best to bring up for the post-game interview. We've already talked to Angel Galbraith in a post-game interview, so it'll be interesting because it's kind of hard to pass her up, but at the same time, you got a lot of different players step up in different ways. Kiana Rios with 26. Avery Oster, another freshman that maybe head-to-head compared with Kiana Rios, didn't score as much, but she was solid with 5 rebounds and had 12 points to her name. And Lauren Mornis, just misconsistent down there with 10 points to go along with a handful of other good stats to her name. So we'll take a quick break. We'll get the post-game interview set up for you, and you'll be back to listen to us on the Saints Digital Network just a few moments. Sky Gladstone back here with head coach Christy Martin. Coach, first off, just talk about that offensive outburst. I didn't look back at the rest of the games this season, but the 28 points in the first quarter and then outdoing that with 32 points in the third quarter. It's no secret that this team has kind of struggled offensively at points throughout the season. How important was it to just get that confidence up and get those shots to fall?
I think that, for us, we really haven't had a lot of consistency in who's going to be available every day. And so they're really learning each other, and I've said that before, but we've had 10 different starting lineups. And from game to game, I don't know who's starting because we've got so many different things, just like the rest of every team in America, right? But I thought that this was really fun because we felt like we brought some really good players in, and we had some really good players that were still here. And I thought that they were really starting to click and understand what each other does well. When we have our, best player from last year, all-conference player, setting flare screens on the weak side for a freshman who's on fire, that's something that's a big deal for culture. So I think just understanding that and understanding that it doesn't really matter who gets the credit as long as all of us are just playing together and looking to play Saints basketball.
Yeah, you mentioned that freshman that's on fire, Kiana Rios. She put up 31 points and kind of this big coming out party up in Bellingham to show, hey, her shot can be lethal and can really do a lot of help for you guys. Talk about, her as well as the rest of the freshman class. I mean, showing up, just kind of coming into it. Avery Oster put up 12 tonight. Sarah Lammett looked really good down the stretch there. But start with Rios in terms of, that shot's going to be dangerous. And Angel Galbraith, I don't know how many of her assists came off just finding her in the corner and setting her up well. What does that mean to the squad?
Well, I think Kiana, she's so fun to coach. She's just a really great kid, wholesome. She goes hard. She's super gritty. And then she's really sweet off the floor. Before the game, I'm tense and nervous, and, we're on the bench, and she just walks over and she just kind of gets in my face and wants high fives and is, and doing all that. And I was kind of like, okay. And our strength coach, Chris Henry, looks at me, he goes, that's gutsy. I don't think I would have done that. And she's hilarious. She just really brings a little different dynamic to our program that we've really ever had. But the thing that's best about her, I think that she's got so much potential and she's so dang coachable. The other thing that helps is she comes from an extremely good program. Warden wins, and winners win. And so she understands what it takes, and she knows what the commitment level is, and she doesn't miss practice. She comes in early. She really has the work ethic and needs to be a very good player.
Now you have this unique situation coming up. It's December 10th.
Yep. And
you don't have a game until December 31st. How do you manage that as a coach? I think it's helpful in a lot of ways, especially with the injuries and just all the kind of hiccups that you guys have had just trying to get some consistency. But at the same time, it is kind of getting out of this rhythm. So how do you manage, take advantage of the time off and minimize the negatives that can come from it?
Well, I think right now it's actually pretty positive. I was really worried in the beginning of the year because we really couldn't find a game. But now with everybody unhealthy, we had 4 players out today that were not healthy. And so I'm excited. I'll be really honest. I'm excited to focus solely on us next week, where we're just going to get in the gym and really practice and focus up on us and do some player development and really work some of our kinks out in terms of execution, because we're getting a lot better execution-wise, but we're still not there yet. So those are the things I'm really excited about. I'm excited to go to practice. Most coaches will tell you games are they're kind of tough, but we all the coaches that really love to teach really enjoy practice, and I'm really looking forward to the practice time that we're going to get to focus on us next week.
Okay, and finally, I'm not going to see you till after Thanksgiving. What is your optimal Thanksgiving meal? I asked this to Aaron Landon before for your optimal Christmas meal.
Oh.
I guess I asked Aaron Landon his optimal Thanksgiving kind of what's
his answer? Probably prime rib or something like that.
he said for Thanksgiving he said he cooked I think, really good like cranberry sauce. He had like a family recipe or something like that.
Landon, cranberry.
but
Cranberry.
he
You're talking about cranberry sauce?
it was something like that. I don't. It was something. But he said the guys liked his mac and cheese. So but
Did
in
they?
terms, I don't know.
Hold on. Where's the camera?
Right here.
Did you put raisins in your mac and cheese, Aaron? I'm kidding.
What is your favorite kind of meal item with Christmas or the holidays or in general? What do you look forward to?
Okay, so there's a couple things. My mom, she passed away, but she would make these turkey noodles, and my wife just cracks up because I talk about these turkey noodles, and they look kind of gross. Like they're just like flat turkey noodles, and gravy, and we'd spoon them over the top of mashed potatoes, and they were everything.
Okay.
Like they're amazing. But I do have another one.
Okay.
My mother-in-law made real mac and cheese, really good mac and cheese, and she had some incredible. She's probably one of the best cooks I've ever been around, and so her mac and cheese, and she would do greens, and those are probably my two absolute favorites. Well, I guess three now.
Okay.
Turkey noodles, greens, mashed potatoes. But Scott, I love food.
Okay.
I love all food.
This is a great time for it. I think it's only fair we got to have a macaroni and cheese off. You got to get the recipe. You versus Coach Aaron Landon. It's the only.
It's not even
Ibrahim
a
wants in, too.
competition. It's not even a competition. Aaron's mac and cheese against my wife's mac and cheese. Oh my! Is it Kraft? Is he doing it out of a box?
I don't know. I don't want.
Bet.
Kraft is okay. Kraft is okay.
I bet, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
All right,
Coach.
thanks.
We'll see you on the other side.
All
Thank
right.
Christmas. Final score of this contest, 101-60. The St. Martin Saints explode on offense, get the job done on defense. 30 from Angel Galbraith, nearly a double-double. And then 26 from freshman guard Kiana Rios. It was an offensive outburst for sure. We can't wait to see you back here, whether it's on December 29th when the Saints Martin's men's basketball team hosts Simon Fraser, or whether it's on the 31st when we get a doubleheader, women's basketball hosting Western Oregon, men's basketball hosting Western Washington. My name's Scott Gladstone. For all of us working here at St. Martin's University, including our stream producer, Sydney Henderson, our stats guru, Ibrahim Mustafa, and our cameraman, Zane Leposki. Please stay safe out there and have a great night.